Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN is brought to you by Ace Ticket, by Dunkin' Donuts, by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com, by McDonald's, by your New England Ford dealers, by Hyundai. Make the holidays shine even brighter now during Hyundai holidays. By American Hustle, in theaters everywhere starting tomorrow. By Infinity, and by your local Mazda dealers.
Jeff, one thing about this roster situation of late, young guys getting an opportunity, young guys like Ryan Spooner getting to show what they can do.
Yeah, Brick mentioned a moment ago, rounding out his game, too. In the first part of the trip, he was 25% on his face-offs. He went 4 for 4, though, against Calgary the other night. Being the home guy helps an awful lot. Let's keep an eye, and we'll talk about it in the first intermission, how Ryan Spooner does.
Let's drop the puck. The Boston Bruins and the Buffalo Sabres. Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley.
Boys, thank you very much. Tonight's starting goalie is brought to you by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience Audi Quattro all-wheel drive tonight. Chad Johnson, in his last 5 starts, 5-0, a 1.77 goals against average, and a .938 save percentage. The Buffalo Sabres, meanwhile, have finally strung together some consistent defensive performances, and Ryan Miller's been behind it all. In the month of December, a 2-2 record with a sub-2 goals against average and a .937 save percentage. Statistically speaking for the season, it's been a disaster for Buffalo. The game is on. The Bruins have the task in front of them to do their thing and not look at the standings, right, Brick?
Absolutely. You got to play to your style, your identity, play the way you want to play. You got to start this game strong. First periods have been awful for the Sabres.
Smith to Brad Marchand, wheels below the dot, protects the puck. Marcus Foligno bats away the pass intended for Johnny Boychuk. Brad Marchand attacking the puck, getting into Patrice Bergeron, and flicks it along the kick plate. Ehrhoff steps in and shoulders Marchand off the puck. Smith gets it loose, but can't take it away. There's Bergeron wheeling it away from Cody Hodgson. Smith to Bergeron, great zone time. The opening shift to block. Here's Johnny Boychuk bouncing it down through the corner. Smith lets it bound along for Marchand. Marchand wins it away from Hodgson, but Ehrhoff pokes it through to Alexander Sulzer.
The Buffalo unable to really get any kind of puck possession, puck management, make a play coming out of their own zone. Good effort by the Bergeron line. The best chance, maybe Marchand, but Miller had him squared off. He tried to make a play to Riley Smith that wasn't there.
David Krejci line out, Milan Lucic and Jerome McKinley as usual the wings. Boychuk flicks the puck down through the corner. Tyler Myers reunited with Henrik Tallinder. Tallinder in his second stint with the Sabres. There's Myers in the center circle. The captain Steve Ott at the half-board sends it all the way across ice. Lucic takes it on the bounce, swings it to David Krejci. Krejci has it to the takes the big hit from Ott, who will hit everything that moves. McKinley to Krug, down past the hash marks, fires in, it goes off the outside of the post and around through the corner. Drew Stafford on the near side. Fires this little tip for Leno, who came below available. Johnson has to paddle it aside.
Ott comes all the way from the left wing position through the neutral zone to target David Krejci, and the Sabres, you can see why they have problems. They reverse the puck on the breakout. It goes right to Krug because there's no left winger there.
Marchand snapshot and a glove save by Ryan Miller. He gets a little snowstorm courtesy of Patrice Bergeron. Ted Nolan went back behind the bench. Hired on the 13th of November when they pretty much cleaned house.
Yeah, that 4-8-2 record since he took over. They were about 4-15 when he got the job. But when you take a look at these Sabres, and Jack, I played for a team in Pittsburgh pre-Mario when we were awful. And it reminds me of this Buffalo team. You just can't seem to do anything right. You know, to have a record as 4-8-2 right now, I mean, you're trying to crawl before you can walk is what the Buffalo Sabres are trying to do on Teddy Nolan. They only have 3 regulation wins all year long.
Yeah, they're in single digits in goals scored in the first period, and we're approaching the halfway point of the season. Marchand's shot goes off the end boards, and Miller sprawls out to cover it. Ryan Miller is the center of a humongous amount of speculation. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season unless Buffalo makes him a sensational offer.
One of the conversations prior to the game down in the media lounge was, can a guy like Ryan Miller play for Team USA, be the starting goaltender, and be a dominant player when he's been in this kind of atmosphere for the amount of time this season.
Are you kidding? Of course he can.
Exactly.
Of course he can.
And part of that reason, it's a contract year.
Yeah. Yep. And also part of that reason is when you got the red, white, and blue sweater on, you got some pretty good players playing in front of you.
Yeah, and a lot of pride to play.
Yep. Gregory Campbell takes a swat at the puck, and it goes off Ehrhoff's stick up and into the protective netting. So Ted Nolan is trying to get the Sabres to crawl before they can walk. And at last, they've gone 4 consecutive games, allowing 2 goals against or fewer. You know, veteran coaches build from the goal out, and that's where the responsibility starts for Buffalo.
Yeah, and you take some of the younger players that maybe were playing too much, that weren't ready for prime time. Maybe you send them back to Rochester. You know, you try to get your most skilled lineup as far as NHL abilities and the ability to handle the NHL and the pressures and the responsibilities of playing without the puck. Get those guys back in the lineup, and then you got to get the buy-in back.
Ehrhoff off the corner kick plate that bounces around to the near side. Matt Ellis, famous for getting pancaked by Johnny Boychuk in the playoffs a few years back. Ehrhoff's blast blocked out as Nick Johnson takes one about waist high. David Warsofsky back to retrieve the puck. High hopes for this guy. You mentioned Kevin Miller because of a waiver situation. If he had appeared in 10 games, in order to go back to the AHL, he would have had to clear waivers and certainly would have gotten picked off. But Peter Chiarelli explained it to him, said, hey, sorry, but it's a cold business, and this is a cold business move. So Warsofsky from Marshfield, Massachusetts, and BU gets a chance to live the dream. Local kid wearing the black and gold.
Yeah, he's having a terrific year down in Providence. You know, you're just looking at the numbers, the 2 goals, the 14 helpers, the plus 10. Talked with Jamie prior to the game, and he's a more complete player now.
Well, here we go. Matt Frazier is going to square off with Marcus Foligno, on the linesman actually get the deadwood out of the way. And Foligno gets a couple of rights in. Tries the uppercut. Pretty good wrestling match right now. Neither man landing a good blow. Under and over, and Foligno pounding down on Frazier. Frazier tries to drive him back. Foligno gets the better of it, but Frazier stands tough. Fighting Major number 21 for the Bruins, number 22 for the Sabres.
The Bruins are basically in a controlled breakout situation with Warsofsky with the puck behind the net. And right around the tops of the circles after a brief conversation, off came the gloves between Frazier and Foligno. We're 3.5 minutes in. We got our first bout of the night.
By the way, Marcus Foligno was saying that his niece, the daughter of Nick that we mentioned, who had the open heart surgery, the baby who had the open heart surgery, is doing just great.
Frazier, Buffalo's number 82, Marcus Foligno.
Once again, to all the medical personnel at
Frazier and Foligno fighting at 3:37.
Billy Lena knocks the puck the length of the rink. That's going to be icing against the Sabres. Now the Folignos already have quite a name here in Buffalo, with Mike having been a very high energy player, effective attacker and agitator for a long time.
Yeah, especially that goal celebration.
Yeah.
That would agitate you.
Yeah.
And he scored his share of them.
Yeah, hopped both feet off the ice in celebration of his goals. Torrey Krug snaps one from the point. That bounces off the stick and goes up into the protective netting behind Ryan Miller.
Now, this is one area the Bruins should dominate tonight when you take a look at the numbers anyway, is faceoffs. Bruins pride themselves on being the better faceoff team on most nights. Buffalo has struggled in the dot. And if you want to be a puck possession team, that's where it all begins.
We had NESN examine about 40 statistical categories in team stats before each game. The Sabres, remarkably, are 28th or worse in 21 of those individual categories in this 30-team league. And of those 21 categories, the Bruins are in the top 5 in 7 of them. So if history is any guide, Boston has a huge advantage in this game. But of course, past performance means nothing when the puck's in play. Lucic trying to knock the puck past Weber in the corner. Leno's back there to help out. Gets it up the wall for Ott. Tumbles off his stick, and McKinley rushing back into the play, makes the play, controls the puck in close quarters, and makes the safe pass to keep possession.
Yeah, just to finish that thought on the faceoff, Jack. Bruins 4th in the NHL. Buffalo 26th.
Ennis can't control what could have been a turnover. And now Matt Bartkowski goes back to retrieve, wedging against Tyler Ennis. Zemgus Girgensons wearing number 28. Ennis tries to wiggle it to him, gets the puck back on the Karen. Girgensons back to Ehrhoff, the drive, loose in front. Molson, no, it's not a left shooting Thomas Vanek wearing number 26. It's Matt Molson who came with a pick from the Islanders for Vanek. You remember this guy teaming up with John Tavares so often. He's still effective.
Yeah, and maybe that loss of Molson, even though you got a real good player in Vanek down in Long Island, has affected that team. They've spiraled downward, but pretty good shift by that line. Molson will always be around the net. He's a very good goal scorer. He's got a strong hockey offensive IQ with a good set of hands, and that's a guy you got to pay attention to, certainly.
And also an unrestricted free agent at the end of this year who's making a very cap-friendly $3.13 million on the cap. So he is likely to be a heck of a rental for somebody. As Buffalo's Pat LaFontaine, who you saw earlier, aims to stockpile for the future, which already has begun here for the Sabres. Miller bunts the puck to the corner. Kalinder works it up the wall to Kevin Porter, the Hobey Baker winner from the University of Michigan a few years back. Bartkowski diagonally out of the Boston zone. Here comes Nick Johnson. Porter puts the body on him, and the Bruins can't penetrate the zone with possession. It's offside. 13:56 to go in the opening period. The Bruins on the road, front half of home and home with the Buffalo Sabres. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And as you look at Zdeno Chara, Erik Karlsson, Torrey Krug, Shea Weber, we'll talk not just about most goals by NHL defensemen, but where they rank in terms of shorthanded time on ice per game, the all-round game by defensemen. Yes, Torrey Krug is getting spotted in on the penalty kill. Shea Weber and Zdeno Chara, of course, lead their teams in shorthanded time on ice per game. Erik Karlsson from Ottawa, 6th among his team's defensemen in shorthanded time on ice per game.
And we talked a little bit in the pregame show, Jack, about the Bruin power play this year, and 17 goals combined between Krug and Chara. 10 of them have come with the man advantage.
Well, the power play is a much more vibrant part of Boston's game, in part because of the flexibility that Claude Julien and the assistant Jeff Ward, who spends so much of his time devoted to the power play, and the way they have tweaked things and using the personnel they now have.
Yeah, and it's a good feeling if you're an assistant coach, let's say, one of your responsibilities is mainly to work on the power play, or part of your job description is the power play. You like to have success, obviously, but when you see those tweaks that you make, and then they're productive, and the buy-in you get from the players once they see it work, that's rewarding.
It's got to be. Smith with the stick extended, getting the puck ahead to Soderberg. And Riley Smith gets an extra turn here with Fraser still in the box serving his fighting major. Jamie McBain sends the puck across to Christian Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff misses connections, and that will be icing. McBain coming with a second rounder from Carolina for Andrej Sekera back in June of this year. A lot of Bruins fans here, as always, on the road, but Rick, you said it when they changed management here in Buffalo. This fan base deserves a winner. They deserve better than they've gotten out of this team in the last few years.
Yeah, when you take a look at the personnel, particularly up front, they still have some really good players here. This isn't those Sabres from 6-7 years ago.
Krejci the shot out of the glove of Miller. The rebound, McKinley, and he couldn't pound it past. David Krejci showing a burst of speed. Yeah, the potential to have a productive core is still there. They just need a little help. Lucic catches a stick up high from Ryan Miller, who quietly chuckles behind his mask. Long memory there. Torrey Krug trying to stab the puck away from Billy Leno. Down behind Chad Johnson. Drew Stafford goes in, bangs against the end boards, and the puck tumbles loose. Krug maintains his position beautifully, allowing Char to get the puck to a Ginla to Lucic through the center circle, and he lobs it down to the corner. Ehrhoff and Krejci go after it. Ehrhoff all the way around the Bruins in the middle of a defensive pair change, so Bartkowski's out at the red line to retrieve. They get a fresh line on, and here comes Marchand flying in on the forecheck. Alexander Seltzer misses connections, but that goes straight into the middle of the goal, and Johnson has to stop it, no icing.
Yeah, otherwise it would have been the fourth icing against the Sabres here in about a 3-minute span.
Marchand gets some sting on this one, but the pass too far forward for Riley Smith. Tyler Myers, the pirouette, now he turns the goal and makes the carom pass off the boards, but it does not connect with Zemgus Girgensson. Molson to Talinder. Johnson stops the puck, goes through the seam to Marchand. Marchand cross ice backhand. Nick Johnson has Bergeron out ahead of him. Chips it into the corner. Bergeron looks over the shoulder, doesn't see much there. Molson takes it away, stick handles away from Marchand. Now headmans the puck to Ennis. Ennis flicks it past Boychuk and peels off for a line change. Girgensson goes in hard against Boychuk, who holds his position so Johnson can make the play unopposed. Warsofsky feeds the simple pass quickly to Campbell's tape. Caron all the way into the end boards, wheels it middle, and there's Brian Flynn, Linfield born. And once again, the Sabres icing. We saw Brian Flynn last year. Got a late look with the Sabres, and this time he seems to have stuck UMaine product. Finished up in 2012.
And just to finish that thought, Jack, on not being the Sabres, but still having some quality players. We talked about it this afternoon, the Drury Briere era, when you had a guy like Jason Pominville just coming onto the scene, fourth line guy, but he played the point on the power play. That tells you a little bit of something about their depth, their skill level, their coaching, and that's what they're looking to get back to. But it's going to be a process.
There's a giveaway and a save by Chad Johnson. Matt Ellis, the gift of an easy chance in front. And Johnson comes up big for the Bruins. Ellis trickles the backhand down into Warsofsky's corner. He holds the edge nicely to keep Flynn from getting into the puck. Soderberg tries to flip it past Sulzer, and Sulzer recovers to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff bounces it through the center circle. Chara whacks it away from Hodgson, but it's loose. The cross-ice feed, Foligno trying to send Matt D'Agostini in. Spooner on the turn, fires it right into the crease. It pops past the post. Miller couldn't find it for a moment. D'Agostini trickles it out right side. He played against the Bruins only a couple of weeks ago with Pittsburgh, and that was also a waiver deal.
A good recovery by Chara on the pass attempt by Foligno back in the Bruins defensive zone, and then the speed of Spooner and great patience trying to wait for Soderberg's stick to get open right at the top of the crease.
Bartkowski fires it off of D'Agostini's legs. Seidenberg slings the puck around, and it comes to Sulzer in the near corner. Both teams getting fresh personnel on the ice. Billy Leno gives it to Steve Ott ahead to Drew Stafford. Seidenberg steps up and pops him shoulder to shoulder. Bartkowski zings it around as Ginla just slips it past Ott. Krejci takes the hit to move the puck to Lucic. Stick handles down the left wing, fires. Miller will take a defensive zone faceoff. 8:59 to go in the first. Still 0-0 at First Niagara Center in Buffalo. Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN is brought to you by the all-new Sierra, designed and engineered by GMC. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck.
Well, Joe Caron's actually in the right position. He thinks he's got to get to the puck off the face-off. That allows Porter to get to this loose puck, pinching down the wall as Boychuk. So Porter just wants to get this puck out the neutral zone, and Caron's right where he should be, Jack. Maybe a little bit of indecision on when to move this puck. Ellis gets his stick in the passing lane, makes the steal, leads to a hard-to-read, real good scoring chance on the backhand, and Johnson had to deny him.
Krejci on the faceoff. first period goals have been so hard to come by for Buffalo. San Jose leads the league with 44 first period goals. Anaheim has 41. Chicago has 36. Are you noticing a pattern here? We got a holding penalty coming up. Buffalo is playing game number 35 of the season tonight. The Buffalo Sabres in the first period this year have scored 7 goals.
Well, they're going to be looking for their 8th right now because they're going to go on the power play. Pretty good effort down the wall by Stafford. He gets in this battle. We saw Krug on his last shift make a play very similar to this where he pins his man along the wall. This time the officials felt that he was there too long. They give him a holding call.
The Buffalo Sabres lost a penalty number
Sabres were 1 for 5 on the power play in their most recent game, a 4-2 win over Winnipeg on Tuesday. They're struggling on the power play, though, in their last 7 games, just 2 for 25. But here comes Cody Hodgson behind Bergeron. Bergeron hooks him and then goes piling into the goal, taking it off its pegs. And Buffalo's going to have an extended 5-on-3 here and a chance to go on top.
Well, a set play on the breakout by the Buffalo power play where they use that stretch forward who comes all the way up the ice. Bergeron's down, token pressure. Now he's going to swing with Hodgson. As he swings with Hodgson, he's almost in man-on-man coverage. The stretch pass Molson, the one-touch pass to the streaking Hodgson, and he has a half a step on Bergeron. And Bergeron with a little too much stick work on the back check leads to a lengthy 5-on-3 for the Sabres. And Bergeron, one of your key guys when you get into these 5-on-3s.
Yep, Patrice Bergeron, among Bruins forwards, ranked 3rd in shorthanded time on ice. And, of course, 2nd among healthy forwards because Chris Kelly is just 1 second per game behind team leader Gregory Campbell. And there's Campbell right on cue with the backhand swat. Campbell has shed one of the additional pads that was in his skate to protect the leg broken during the playoffs last spring. And he says it's helping him have a little bit more flexibility and skate a little bit better. The Bruins with both defensemen, Chara and Boychuk, behind the goal line. And we get a stoppage here.
It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a hooking call. And this is going to go.
Yep, Tyler Ennis.
Chara using that long body, long stick, long reach. Ennis gets that stick caught up in the chicken wing area. And because of that stick work right there, he's going to go to the box. So that 5-on-3 opportunity disappears almost immediately. A couple of real good plays by Gregory Campbell, Jack. Not only the diving play to get the puck out of the zone and take some important seconds off the 5-on-3, starts with winning the faceoff.
Krejci wins the draw here. The Bruins operating 3 against 4. A rarely seen manpower situation. Can't imagine they practice it a whole lot. Chara gives it away to Hodgson. He immediately gains the Boston zone. He's got Molson along the boards, but Krejci wins the puck. Stafford bats it loose, but then it comes outside the line. Christian Ehrhoff, no easy re-entry. Bounces it across to Molson. He chips the pass for Ehrhoff out high. Fakes the shot. Here's Molson, high slot. Hodgson at the bottom of the circle. Hodgson comes out top for Stafford to Hodgson, who's got a heck of a shot. He drives it off of Seidenberg, who makes the block. Ehrhoff receives the cross-ice pass, fires. Johnson holds the line with a Molson, who's a terrific poacher right in front of him. Ehrhoff's drive, tipped by Molson. Saved, it's underneath Johnson, and he does the man in the coffin. It's underneath somewhere.
Well, you need stops from your goaltender when you get into these situations. It's a nice little look by Ehrhoff, the low hard drive, looking for the redirect from Molson, and he gets it. First opportunity, good shot block by Seidenberg. The sacrifice it takes to kill penalties. That motion out high is critical. Ehrhoff provides it. Doesn't just stand in the middle. Create a passing or shooting lane by moving. And by doing so, he's able to find Molson right at the top of the crease. But Johnson gets it, and he's able to lay back on the puck.
Leno Ott, McBain, and Myers, the new foursome for Ted Nolan's Sabres. Here's Jamie McBain. Billy Leno holds. McBain's drive off the end boards. Lively bounce. Boychuk seals it off. Ott looks to get back to the slot. McBain to Myers, the huge defenseman, all the way forward to the goal line. Finds Leno. He steps into the wrist shot. Gets a lot behind him, but misses the goal. Bruins 4-on-4 as Torrey Krug is out of the box. 2 shots during the power play for Buffalo. Boychuk engages with Ott, loses the stick. Seidenberg is the next layer. Veteran presence on defense for Boston. Seidenberg shot deflects in on Ryan Miller.
It actually was a pump fake, as if he was going to go down the wall, and he tried to put it on goal. And did.
The old Florida fake, that's right. You never know, as Seidenberg says, I tend to score a lot of weird ones. Bergeron swerves on Ehrhoff. The shot almost wrong foots Miller, but he makes the blocker save. Ehrhoff fires it around. Bartkowski knocks it down in the neutral zone. 0 shots on the second half of the power play. And now a very brief man advantage for the Bruins. No, not at all, actually. Here's Bergeron with Marchand going to the middle. Bergeron cross ice goes right through the legs of Spooner. Krug's shot locked down by Hodgson. Krug to Chara. Chara throws it on Miller. He makes the stop in big traffic as Marchand is jamming. 5:40 to go first period. The Bruins and Sabres both starting to find their rhythm.
Matt Moulson has 21 games in a Buffalo Sabres jersey since being the other half of the Thomas Vanek trade earlier this season. Moulson has 6 goals and 7 assists in that stretch. He is our Acura Key matchup tonight. Meet the extremely new 2014 MDX at Acura.com/MDX. The 3-time 30-goal scorer, Moulson has also found steady success at just a point per game pace against the Bruins. Jack, in 15 career games, 14 points against the Spoke Bee.
Yeah, Jamie, and Brick was saying it within hours of the trade for Vanek. Yeah, Vanek's an unbelievably talented player, but why would you break up Tavares and Moulson? I mean, when you got a good thing going, keep it going. What was wrong with that combination? Vanek's an unrestricted free agent at the end of this year, too. Hard to argue that it made the Islanders better, and the results certainly don't support it. Lucic turns up the wall. Here's David Krejci over the center circle. He loops the puck down into Talinder's corner. He snaps the backhand around to Drew Stafford, who telegraphs the pass to Leno, allowing Krejci to race onto it. Myers slides the puck over to Talinder. Rick, if you get a moment, what has impressed you most about Krejci in terms of improving his game year to year over the last couple of years?
Just a better grasp on how to play without the puck. His puck skills obviously is the strength of his game, creating passing lanes.
Johnson holds the short post on Girgensons.
Creating opportunities for his line mates, but his desire, Jack, to be a better player, more complete player. You know, Bergeron gets a lot of the attention for being one of the best free zone players in the game. Do not underestimate that skill from David Krejci, and that's what's improved most throughout his tenure in Boston.
Lucic willing to go with Weber.
Nope, didn't even take his gloves off.
Weber's went flying.
Well, he's giving them both penalties, I know that. It's just a matter if the Bruins get a power play out of this.
Well, and here's the thing. You know, you got Mike Weber sporting a -15 in the plus-minus.
Third set of D.
Yep. And Milan Lucic, who, of course, leads the Bruins in goal scoring with 11. And of course, it's a great trade for Weber. Let's see how the arbiters see it.
And it goes back to that discussion we had in Edmonton.
Yep.
When Gadzik challenged him along the wall, we mentioned it took him a little while to make his decision, that he thought it was time to go, and he's trying to be judicious when it comes to when do I drop the gloves and who do I drop the gloves with and why. So the Bruins should get a power play out of this, Jack.
Not if I heard it correctly.
I'm saying they should.
Oh.
They should, and they will.
Yep, no, so they did give an extra. Yep,
Yeah.
they did give an extra. The extra is for a hold. 2 each for roughing. And Mike Weber gets an extra 2 for holding. Bruins power play is brought to you by McDonald's. Boston, as we told you in the pregame, 5 power play goals in the last 5 games. Last time they did it was January of 2012. And they're getting it in a variety of ways. Johnny Boychuk Out top with Riley Smith. Smith sauces the Boychuk. A Johnny Rocket off the inboards right in front. Soderberg keeps it alive. Bergeron snapshot. Soderberg tries to wrap around. Miller, a tremendous right to left move. Smith fakes the shot, brings it to the far side. Spooner to Bergeron, the snapshot off Ennis's stick. Boychuk backhands it around to Soderberg. He chips it off the boards. Bergeron rescues it away from Ehrhoff's tip. Spooner takes the pass from Smith, goes down to the hash mark. Soderberg right through the crease. It bounces off the board. Hustle play by Riley Smith to keep the puck in the attacking zone. Soderberg tries to send it middle. It bounces down. Boychuk can't handle it. Flynn's got a break. Flynn walks into the back and he scores! Short-handed goal! Brian Flynn makes it 1-0 Sabres.
Well, if you watch Johnny Boychuk's reaction on this wraparound, I guarantee you he loses this puck in the darkness of the crowd behind the glass, because it's a very late reaction when that puck comes off the glass and down by his skates. And because now he's standing still, he doesn't see it, all of a sudden it's by him. That's an advantage for Flynn. Smith doesn't recognize that Boychuk can't locate this puck. Never even thinks it's going to happen. So he's a little tardy getting back as that safety valve, because you're thinking puck possession, power play, scoring, and then Flynn gets the advantage. What a beautiful finish on the backhand, right up under the crossbar.
Well, Flynn, 25 years old, has paid his AHL dues. He's learned how to play against men. A prolific scorer in Hockey East, better than a point per game in his 4 years at the University of Maine. So here's a guy who is second among forwards for Buffalo in shorthanded time on ice, but he's a scorer.
Yeah, well, again, it's the great advantage because Boychuk's flat-footed, standing still, trying to find the puck and handle it. You're coming with a great deal of speed, but he keeps the puck on the backhand to make sure he's going to get a shot away, with Smith closing on him fast. And those are difficult to read. We showed you the highlight of the Ellis chance on the turnover. It was a good save by Johnson, but that time he just got flat out beat by a real quality shot.
So 2 shorthanded goals allowed by the Bruins in the last 6 days. And here's Torrey Krug having to outrace Jurgensen. Only about half a minute to go in the Boston power play. Marchand trying to bust through the seam between Talinder and Myers, and he can't do it. 20 seconds to go on the Boston power play, likely the last rush of it. Torrey Krug at the center circle. Chara deflects the puck. Miller at the edge of the trapezoid. Ehrhoff hard around off glass all the way back to the Boston zone.
There it is again. That time it was Krejci trying to find that puck on the glass.
Dark background here in Buffalo on a well-lit ice surface. Huge contrast. Sabres are back to even strength. D'Agostini was serving the extra 2 for Weber. Olsen to Stafford. He gains the line with Ennis middle. Stafford can't reposition inside against Campbell's opposition. Perron unable to get the puck past Myers. Bartkowski slings it around, and Johnson deflects through the neutral zone. Myers draws Gregory Campbell, sends it up the board. Stafford the touch pass for Ennis. He looks for a crack in this flow. Tyler Myers going around Bartkowski. Myers uses the leverage, turns it to the forehand, brings it around the perimeter. Talinder snapshot. Bergeron blocks it to the corner. Bartkowski going in there. Bergeron in support against Ennis. Bergeron into Ennis' skates. Ennis back into the corner. Bergeron handles it. Banks the pass for Smith. One touch to Marchand, and he gains the red line and into the attacking zone. Waits for Bergeron. Bergeron stops it but can't turn. Now fires it right back through the crease. Boychuk holds. Slap pass down to Marchand to Bergeron. Can't chop it past Ennis. It's underneath. And the face-off in the Buffalo zone with 1:03 to go in the first.
Don't miss out on the action and excitement of Bruins hockey this month. Limited tickets are available to see the Bruins take the ice against the Sabres this Saturday at TD Garden. To purchase tickets, visit bostonbruins.com or the Bruins mobile app. Pretty generous whistle right there. A lot of times they force that player to get up off the puck, but they allowed Ennis the benefit of the face-off to Miller's left.
Bergeron wins it to Marchand as we enter the final minute of the first period. Boychuk out in the neutral zone. Marchand whips it back across the line. Ehrhoff does not connect. What's that, 5?
At least.
It's a lot of icings, and as good as the Bruins are on faceoffs, that's tempting fate a little bit for Buffalo. Sulcher and Ehrhoff get the assists on Flynn's 3rd of the year. D'Agostini to Ott, bounces the backhand in on Chad Johnson. Seidenberg sweeps the puck off the boards to Iginla. Seidenberg wiggles it loose one-handed, now takes it back of the goal around for Lucic. He controls with the skate. Hard backhand across the Boston zone. Iginla returns it 85 feet to Lucic. Taps it back to Bartkowski. Only about 20 seconds to go in the period. Seidenberg to Bartkowski. Now Krejci. Center circle, goes through the Leno check, maintains possession. Buffalo just dropping back and trying to keep the Bruins from having any speed coming into the attacking zone in the final few ticks of the first period. Lucic looking for Seidenberg, and it comes off a stick back to center. And the Buffalo Sabres will take a lead into the second period. It has not happened too often this season. This is only the 8th time.
Yeah, 7th or 8th time for Buffalo to have a lead after the first period. Only problem is they're winless when they have.
Yes, actually better in point percentage when their opponent scores first than when they are. A statistical anomaly. The season premiere of Mini One-on-One coming up at intermission with Billy and Dale in the studio. It's all yours, Dale.
Thank you, Jack. Welcome to the Neath.
Frozen Fenway is back in Boston on January 4th and 11 when NESN delivers 2 Hockey East doubleheaders live from America's most beloved ballpark. Tickets are on sale now. You can purchase them by visiting redsox.com or by calling 1-877-RED-SOX-9. It's the 2014 City Frozen Fenway, and it's live on NESN. Sabres centerman Brian Flynn is a 2012 Maine graduate, and he notched the game-winning goal over UNH in the 2012 Frozen Fenway. So Brian knows exactly what it's like to play hockey beneath the Green Monster.
Yeah, it was awesome for me. Being just outside Boston, growing up my whole life, I have a ton of Sox games, and it's a special building, walking in there for a Sox game and then walking around the ice and having a sold out crowd. It was definitely one of the most memorable games of my life.
And there he is. Rick, what was it like to climb out of the dugout and play hockey at Fenway? Look at that. Well, look, you're always faster than it looked.
I got robbed on that breakaway, though. That Farrelly guy.
Yeah, I thought the puck was
He didn't
loaded.
get the script. Supposed to give me the 5-hole there.
Those Farrelly guys never follow the script. Ever. Alongside Andy Brickley with Jamie Erdahl at ice level and our NESN production crew, I'm Jack Edwards. You know, Brick, I actually misspoke as we were going out of the first period.
I don't believe it.
I couldn't believe my own stat sheet. It's only the 3rd time. It's only the 3rd time that the Buffalo Sabres have had the lead after one period. So, as Gregory Campbell said, give them credit. They're a fast team. The Bruins have to meet their compete level. They have to get traffic and rebounds in front of Ryan Miller, who's going to stop the first shot almost every time. And the Bruins game is all about north and south against what should be an outmanned Buffalo team despite Boston's sickness and injuries.
Yeah, the Sabres, for the 7th time this season, scored first.
Yep.
And they're 0-4-2 in the previous 6. So if you pay attention to some of the numbers, if you're the Boston Bruins, down 1-0 to the Sabres, given the way things have gone for them this year, is not problematic. But what might be problematic is it looks like the Bruins need to generate a little bit more emotion. Maybe we'll get an opportunity at the end of the second period to ask one of the assistant coaches about just that topic. Do you have to ratchet it up yourself to find the emotion at ice level? Because I'm not sure what it's like down there, given the situation with the Sabres and the pulse that maybe doesn't exist in the building.
Yep, quiet building, and this, as you know, is a pretty loud place historically. The first period summary was brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Bergeron can't catch up to the bouncer before it settles in the trapper of Ryan Miller. Now Miller Sabres to a man in the room this morning were telling us that they think they're beginning to get some traction just by keeping the game simple.
Yeah, and the Bruins are one of those teams where you feel like the Sabres definitely get up for. When you do take a look at their wins, they have 2 against Toronto.
Leno closes, drags it into the middle, the puck loose in the slot, and Chara helps knock it to the corner. Lucic also there. Leno goes for a little flip, and Lucic signals that was a dive. And Lucic skates grudgingly toward the penalty bench. The Bruins will be shorthanded.
Well, Lucic showed some discipline in that little altercation with Weber in the first period, which allowed the Bruins to have that power play in the first period. The extra 2 going to Weber here. Yeah, he's got an argument. Leno tripping, okay, but he certainly helped it along.
It is an Olympic year, but I don't believe diving is in the Winter Games.
He definitely launched himself, didn't he?
Sure looked that way. And there's Zdeno Chara with another one of those famous turns of the wrist, and the puck flies about 100 feet. Ehrhoff and McBain, the blue line tandem. Stafford, Ennis, and Molson up front. Campbell swipes at the puck. Clears to center, but Ehrhoff has it. He draws Jordan Caron. Bounces it diagonally. Tyler Ennis with a quick turn at the center dot. Stafford over the line. Chara in the corner. Taps past Ennis to Caron. He's got the time and the space, and he scales it out.
The heads-up play by Chara. Good read. Had that body language as if he was going to wrap it hard around the boards and just reverse direction.
Marchand and Bergeron, the penalty-killing forwards, with Bartkowski and Boychuk, the defensive pair now. McBain chops it off the corner boards. Boychuk strokes it hard off the boards. Here's Marchand and Bergeron 2-on-2. Marchand closes, he scores! 2 shorties in this game, and the Bruins have evened it up. Brad Marchand looked to the middle to Patrice Bergeron, who is making the net drive. That opens up the short side low corner, and he finds it.
And it almost looks like he sells. He's going to go real high glove, but he doesn't. It's only about knee high, I think, when it goes past Miller, but what a nice play by Johnny Boychuk. Just as Chara made the reverse, Boychuk doesn't go with a wraparound. Instead, he goes with the indirect to find Marchand right in stride. And you can see Ryan Miller thinking this is going to be right up under the crossbar, but it's not. About knee high, right past the glove, past the pad, and the Bruins were able to tie it with a short-handed goal of their own.
So it's simple tonight. Go to the bin, score a goal. Alexander Seltzer winds it out. Tries to trickle it through traffic to Leno. Krejci got a piece of the puck. Foligno to Seltzer. The puck hops on him as he receives it. High slot. Back to Seltzer. Can't find it in his skates. Now does. Tyler Myers backs toward the boards. Uses the huge reach to get around Spooner. Has to stay perimeter. On the rotation. The drive. Save Johnson. Quick whistle. Goes Boston's way. Seidenberg was prying it loose, and Krejci would have had the opportunity to clear. But a scramble that close to the goal, the attacking players are never going to be happy on a quick whistle.
Yeah, not sure if it goes Boston's way because of that second point that you made. The Bruins have a chance to clear their zone right here because David Krejci's got possession. But it's a rebound on a drive from the point. Ott with the exchange. Myers in deep. He rotates out high. Good low hard shot. Looking for redirects or a rebound. The rebound was there.
Chara unopposed on the end boards. Snaps it all the way past the red line, and it hops down in Seltzer's skates. As soon as Chara got the puck, both defensemen for Buffalo immediately began to retreat to their own side of the neutral zone. Foligno, middle of the line to Myers, slips it to Seltzer. You can throw a blanket over him and Leno. The shot kicked, saved by Johnson. Chad Johnson taking one away from Marcus Foligno.
Good side-to-side puck movement by the Sabres late in the power play to allow Leno to find Foligno. A good hard wrist shot again. Rebound there. Bruins doing a nice job of tracking rebounds and getting sticks on sticks and body position on the inside.
Power play expires. 4 shots on goal during the man advantage for Buffalo. Bergeron to Marchand. He scores! Brad Marchand Marchand on the backup one-timer. Going high stick side on Ryan Miller, and the Bruins have scored twice in the second to lead.
Not sure he got all of this one or not. It almost looked like a changeup from where we are, but he made the right shot to go back against the grain. Good job by the Bruins. Very simple. Get that puck out of your defensive zone and then put pressure on the Sabres in center ice. The steal by Bergeron between the red line and offensive blue line. Easy entry into the zone. This is almost like a misfired shot, but it's accurate, and it's against the grain of the blocker side. 2 for Marchand here in the second period on a heads-up play by Bergeron.
A minute and 14 seconds apart. The Bruins with a couple of rapid-fire goals, one shorthanded and one at even strength. And now Boston leads. Molson, it gets knocked down. Girgensons right across the goal mouth and out the other side. Ennis gets it in deep. There's nobody there to contest for the puck. Boychuk turns away from Molson. Bergeron can't get it out of the zone. Molson unable to get it past Boychuk. Smith up to the line, but not out. Now Marchand makes sure it gets there, but he ices it.
Well, nice play by Bergeron on that goal, Jack. You know, you drive, you try to back off the defense, and then you pull up and you look for support, look for help. And Marchand finds an open seam. He creates the passing lane, and he gives Bergeron a perfect target to give himself options, either a sweeping all-in-one motion wrist shot or one-timer back against the grain. You have options.
Ehrhoff snaps the pass along the line to Seltzer. Seltzer's drive goes into Boychuk's body. Marchand comes out of the corner, getting away from Foligno, but not out of the zone. Foligno kicks to the stick, goes 1 against 3. The shot off the post and out. D'Agostini snaps one off from the slot, but it hits the stick side post past Chad Johnson and stays out of the goal.
Quick release by D'Agostini, and I'm not sure Johnson picked that up till it was by him.
D'Agostini rests it around through the corner. Spooner quickly to the puck. Here comes D'Agostini. Spooner pulls up. D'Agostini blows the tire. Soderberg keeps it alive. The drive from Fraser and a save by Miller. Fraser turning the backhand right through the crease past the dot. Barkowski dekes on hot. Goes goal line, throws it right back through the crease. Bouncing puck. Seidenberg snaps it off the end board. Soderberg shields the puck from Myers. Taps it back to Barkowski. Snaps the backhander through Spooner all the way down to Fraser. Fraser cycles out of the corner. Spooner scoots with the puck to shield it away from Ehrhoff. Now it's Fraser and Flynn in the corner. Myers takes the free puck and gets it to Stafford. Stafford muscles it up to the red line, cuts off the rush and throws it in deep.
Yeah, and all that offensive zone time, Jack, a result of a good stick check by Soderberg at the offensive blue line initially.
Spooner across the middle of the Boston defensive zone. Lucic rolls the puck to Spooner. He smacks it off the wall, and the Bruins get fresh legs on the ice. Bunts it down. Krejci takes it. Krug quickly to Chara. Chara risks it cross ice. Krejci drops it off to Iginla. The Bruins really making the puck do the skating here in the last few minutes. Krejci out of the corner, banks it to Chara. Taps it back to Krejci. Iginla picks it up on the wall. Shields it away from McBain. Chara turns it to Krug. The wrist shot saved. Miller shoots. He rebound. And McBain chops it to the corner, but Iginla takes the puck back. McBain caves in Iginla, but Lucic is on it. Here's Krug over to Chara with space. The wrist shot knocked down through the pile and out the near side. Lucic shoulder to shoulder wins the puck battle against Halinder in the corner. Iginla fires toward goal. Krejci keeps it alive. Tremendous zone time here for the Bruins. Krejci turning it back through the corner. Lucic takes it back of the goal. McBain getting a little tired on the long change in the second period. Iginla holds it. Wrists it into Krejci's legs. Krejci shields the puck away from Talinder. Taps the Krug along the line to Chara. Third time. Chara throws it toward goal. Leno with the leg block. Taps it out to center. Chara takes it short of the red line. Goes through the seam for Iginla. He tries to get it in deep. Talinder knocks it back to the Boston line. Krug up ahead. McBain hard off the boards. And Molson knocks it in to the Boston zone. Krug ices it, and the face-off back to the Boston zone where the Sabres recently hit the post.
Yeah, after all this great offensive zone time for the Bruins, you have to go back almost a couple of minutes, maybe 3. when D'Agostini had that quick release with a little bit of traffic under the right pad. Catches the post to the right of Johnson. That close to tying this hockey game.
They're on to Nick Johnson. Weber stands him up at the red line. He sends the puck in deep. Jurgensen's gets a hold of Campbell's stick. The pass off of Caron's skate. Molson turns it under Ennis's stick. Seidenberg the quick up north and south, as Gregory Campbell said. The Bruins moving into the Buffalo zone quickly and then holding possession there. Johnson in front. Campbell's shot bounces up and Miller gloves it. Brad Marchand with 2 goals in a span of 1 minute and 14 seconds. The Bruins go from behind to ahead.
Earlier tonight on Bruins Face Off Live, we introduced tonight's Nessun Mobile Bruins poll. It's the second semifinal for our favorite hockey movie. So the next 4 are text A for the Mighty Ducks 2, text B for Miracle, text C for Mystery Alaska, or text D for The Rocket, the legend of Rocket Richard. Please text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Text HELP for info and visit NESSUN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy. We had over 2,000 votes on the first semifinal, and the final will be on Saturday night.
Thank you, Jamie. I believe Patrick Waugh bankrolled that Rocket Richard film. But it's not winning the popularity contest, is it? Again, as Herb Brooks would have said.
Montreal Canadian, wasn't he?
Yeah, that guy. Polino chips the puck into Boychuk's corner. D'Agostini, who just hit the post. Bergeron pries it free. And, you know, is it any coincidence that he pried it free into space? What a chess player. Here's Marchand with 2 already. The shot handcuffs Miller, but he steers the puck to the corner. Bergeron to Warsawski, rotating hard off the boards to open up this angle. All kinds of seams. Bergeron's shot with Marchand screening, and he tips it just past the post. Here's Marchand, the little guy against the big fella Myers. Warsawski wrists it down through the corner. It deflects to Spooner. The shot, and a leg save by Miller. Comes out the other side, and there's Spooner. To Chara, the bomb, and a glove save by Miller. A lot of good things happening for the Bruins. David Warsawski showing a lot of self-confidence and opening up all kinds of seams.
What did the Bruins want to do on their back end coming into this year was add some quickness and some mobility, and Warsawski gives you both. And even with that lateral motion, and he couldn't get a shooting lane with his head up the entire time, what it did create was a chance to go back to Bergeron right in the middle of the high slot.
Krug's drive off the kick plate behind Miller, and it comes right back toward the goal mouth. Here's Krug again. Diminutive left shooting, quick defenseman for the Bruins, causing some problems for Buffalo tonight. Spooner with a quick re-entry, north and south, as Gregory Campbell said. Finds Chara, the shot knocked down in front. There's the traffic. That Campbell might know what he's talking about.
And the speed of Spooner. Just when it looks like he's going to get closed on in the neutral zone, the speed into the offensive end, move people back, and then hit someone coming late.
Krug holds his position against Ellis and then tumbles right through Porter, and the Bruins go north and south once again. Soderberg with Chara jamming the middle. Soderberg shot off Miller's chest. Spooner with the pivot out of the corner. Seidenberg can't control the pass. The Bruins maintain possession in the neutral zone. Seidenberg gets it deep, so Boston gets a clean change.
Just as Spooner wanted to zip that puck back to Seidenberg, it went on edge. Tough break for both players.
Leno over the Boston line. Steve Ott working it toward the middle. Leno turns and fires. Does not get through as Bartkowski makes the block. A tumbling puck off of Krejci and Seidenberg, and here comes Lucic. Lucic to Krejci, closing for Lucic. He jams, and Miller gets the leg down hard and strong. Bruce Stafford closes the shot into the gut of Chad Johnson. Word just in from the Sabres. Cody Hodgson has an upper body injury, will not return. We'll look back at a Boston area boys shorthanded goal on the Berkshire Bank Rewind just 30 seconds from now.
Time now for the Berkshire Bank exciting rewind. Before Brad Marchand scored 2 second period goals, let's go back to the first period. Bruins on the power play. They try to work the backdoor play, but Soderberg usually has a left-shooting Riley Smith coming back door. He thought he might have had it perhaps, but it's actually Johnny Boychuk on that side. Smith comes all the way across to keep the play in, and then Soderberg feels that he has a chance to get this puck to Bergeron, who is open, uncovered in the slot area, but Ehrhoff does a nice job of sealing off the short side, and that allows Salter to get to the puck. Salter's just going to go hard off the glass, and this is where our best guess is that it's hard to pick up this puck along the glass because it's so dark when the puck gets up along the glass. And now Boychuk's a little flat-footed and allows Flynn to pick this puck up in stride with speed. Riley Smith thinking puck possession, power play, offensive. He's just maybe a stride late getting across. I don't even want to use the word late because it was the right decision. Beautiful finish by Flynn. High backhand.
Every month, Berkshire Bank is giving away a Kindle Fire HD. Plus, at the end of the season, Berkshire Bank will assist one lucky winner with their mortgage for a year. All you need to do is vote for your favorite exciting rewind. Go to NESN.com/Berkshire Bank to enter. Berkshire Bank. Life is exciting. Let them help. Krejci and Ennis on the face-off. Boston has an advantage over most teams in faces at center. And now it's Cody Hodgson down and out for the night for Buffalo. The Sabres are even more challenged. And of course, this is a home-and-home set. These two teams will play at TD Garden on Saturday night. We'll have that one for you on NESN. So you wonder if Hodgson's going to be healthy enough soon enough to play in that one. Seidenberg hammers the puck off the corner boards. Krejci feeds Lucic. Lucic goes right at Weber. Lucic hits the brakes. Weber got his legs tangled with Lucic, and Lucic is going down, and on they go.
Yeah, Weber's a pretty strong kid. The problem with Lucic was he didn't really get the body position he was looking for to back Weber off and then try to make a play to somebody coming late, like the Bruins have done a number of times tonight.
Bartkowski going 1 against 4, and he loses the puck to Linder. Runs into Caron's check on the far side. Now D'Agostini quickly up to the red line. Flynn throws it on Johnson, gets the rebound, but it's Caron on it. Can't get it over the Empire State Building, also known as Tyler Myers. Throws a good solid 6'7" or 6'8". To Linder with the pirouette in his own zone to escape Campbell's pressure. Off a stick in the neutral zone, no icing. Johnson might have gotten away with a delay game right there. It appeared that he was outside. The stick was outside the trapezoid when he touched it. There's a looper in on Miller. He sticks the puck to the corner. Campbell fires it off a stick. It goes back of the goal around to Steve Ott. Ott ahead to Billy Leno. Marchand comes across, gets the body on him, and separates him from the puck. The Bruins get possession back. Krug with speed out of the Boston zone. Bergeron up to the line and over. Riley Smith to Marchand, the shot saved by Miller, going past the post on the slide as he had to explode off his line. The Bruins moving beautifully into the attacking zone with speed.
That all starts with that breakout speed and then tape-to-tape passes. You get into the rhythm, you get into the speed coming through center right.
Ehrhoff on the boards. Marchand the short pass for Smith. Smith patient with the puck. Bergeron going by to the low slot. Chara in close, tries the short side. It goes off a stick, up and over the face-off in the Buffalo zone.
Tune in for episode 6 of Behind the B, presented by Alex and Ani, before the Bruins face off against the Predators this Monday at 7 p.m. right here on NESN. Missed any of the previous episodes? Stream them online wherever and whenever you want by visiting the Bruins mobile app or bostonbruins.com/behindtheb.
Linus Ullmark from the Edmonton Oilers to the Buffalo Sabres tonight for a conditional draft choice. Marchand's wrist shot into a skate. You wonder if Linus will bring his blanket with him.
It is cold here.
Not as cold as it is in Edmonton, I can promise you that. Bergeron swings into the attacking zone, wrists it toward Miller, who blocks it to the corner with the punch. Tyler Ennis off the glass. Matt Ellis drives it in around the boards. Chad Johnson looks over his shoulder, sees Kevin Porter there. Flynn down into the corner. Porter brings it back to McBain. McBain Slides it to Weber. The snapshot. Blocker saved by Chad Johnson to the corner again. Weber flips it up in the face of Bergeron. He can't clear. The turnaround drive. Ellis sticks saved by Johnson. Buffalo beginning to find some attacking rhythm here. But Bergeron gets the puck up to Marchand. He gets spun around on Weber's check. Trickles the puck in deep. McBain in a race with Spooner. He cuts down his space. D'Agostini couldn't get it over Krug. Krug's pass bounces to Flynn in the neutral zone. D'Agostini trying to pick the short side high, and Chad Johnson snares it.
Just about 3/4 of the way into period number 2, Jack. It seems like the Bruins brought a little bit more emotion here in this middle period. And with it, better execution and a heck of a lot more offensive zone time.
Ennis spins out of the corner. Torrey Krug around to the near side. Fraser holds his body position, but Talinder one-hands to Girgensons. Ennis backhands it middle for Molson. Spooner chops it to the wall and fills the middle with Fraser carrying. He loops the backhand in deep. Girgensons finishes his check on Fraser.
You just get so exposed when you play that off wing, and if you don't have enough speed and you know you got to gain the red line, you're going to take some hits, but that's the price you pay to make the right play.
Bartkowski with a quick couple of steps. McGinley trying to feed Krejci through the seam. Talinder off the boards. It bounces past Myers. McGinley gets position on Girgensons. Lucic gets past Talinder, who was fronting him. McGinley slips the puck to Krejci. A clever little pass, but Krejci can't get it back to the point to Bartkowski. Now Chara up to the attacking line. It comes off the skates of Lucic and Myers locked up. Girgensson hopping through the open door with a guilty look on his face.
Rightfully so.
As if to say, I think I was the sixth skater on the ice at the time.
The man that was replacing him was playing the puck.
Well, they haven't gotten away with much this year, but they do get away with this one. Taking the hit to make the play, Matt Fraser helping the Bruins to a 2-1 lead.
2-1 you score. Bruins over the Sabres. Late second period. Quality breakout. The speed of Torrey Krug. And then that effective real short pass right here to Bergeron. Bergeron's going to be able to pick this puck up. Move the puck wide. Net drive. And the Bruins really enter the zone with speed, rhythm. These are all good decisions. Execution is perfect. Riley Smith able to find Brad Marchand already with 2 goals here in the second period. Nearly had his third on a well-executed breakout and attack coming across the offensive blue line.
Johnny Boychuk in front of the penalty benches, bounces it down into the corner. Spooner going in hard against Sulzer. Leno off the end boards for Stafford. Stafford pressured by Fraser, and Fraser taps the puck loose. Sulzer behind his goal, and he gets away from Ehrhoff, but he finds Leno. Leno's pass goes right into the body of Fraser, who's been all over the attacking zone on this shift. Ehrhoff turns short of the post and gives the pass to Leno to Ott. Ott has trouble from Spooner. Good back pressure from the young Bruins forwards here. The very thing you were talking about with Spooner before the game break.
Yeah, not just the effort, it's the decisions and when to attack the puck carrier and how to take the angle to get at the puck area in order to allow the defense, the Bruins defense, to hold their lanes.
Stafford cross ice. It gets under Ott's stick. Ott throws it toward goal. Leno keeps it alive against Seidenberg. Boychuk's pass caroms around. Soderberg chops to the line. Ott hustles to keep it in. Seidenberg one-hands it. Can't get it past Stafford in the corner. He shields. Brings it back to McBain. McBain pulls it off the wall. Gives it to Weber. Weber's wrist shot goes off of Nick Johnson in the corner. Johnson tests his stick. It's still in one piece. Spooner to Johnson, and he hacks it out to center ice. McBain swivels the puck for Weber. Weber guns it, and it goes past Flynn for icing. The unofficial count, 7 against Buffalo tonight.
Vote for the Amica Coverage Play of the Week and enter to win a $100 gift certificate to the Pro Shop at TD Garden, courtesy of NESN. Enter now at NESN.com/Amica Coverage Can.
Matt Fraser on the left, number 25, and Ryan Spooner on the right. Getting a little encouragement from Jeff Ward. An attaboy shift there. Campbell Johnson and Caron on the line for Claude Julien's Bruins. Weber hard off the glass. Chara controls. Through the seam to Caron, the quick re-entry. Miller sticks it to the end boards. Campbell shields the puck. Flynn clamps down on him, wins it away to Weber. Weber throws it to the opposite corner. The Bain slashes down hard on Johnson's stick. Campbell, second chance, gets it through to Johnson, throws it right in front. Weber sprays it to the boards, and Marcus Foligno breaks it out. McBain bumps it ahead, gets the return, back to D'Agostini to McBain, the shot, scores! Marcus Foligno on the doorstep. Give and go, and Foligno knocks in the shorty. It's tied again.
Well, this starts in the offensive zone for Boston, Jack. They had pretty good pressure, the Campbell line. Johnson's going to take this puck behind the net, and he's trying to make a play to Caron in front. And when that doesn't connect, now the Sabres turn defense into offense, and they have numbers. The forwards just get caught a little too deep. Both Campbell and Caron trying to get back to the net. Johnson's already below the goal line. Sabres work the puck pretty well. It's not the prettiest goal, but because they have numbers and you stop at the net and you get inside position, Foligno, all he has to do is tap it into the open net when the puck finds him.
They're just making sure, but they'll be sure, and this game will be tied 2-2. For Marcus Foligno, his 5th goal of the season. And it's Ennis with Girgensons and Molson as Ted Nolan looks for more. Myers banks the puck. And that's icing once again against the Sabres.
Now one more look at the goal. A wrist shot that's going to deflect a couple of times. And I'm not even sure that's Foligno's goal, is it?
No, I don't know. It's probably...
It goes off his body.
No, wow. Well, he got the last inch of it. Now, if you're the Buffalo Sabres, you're not playing nicey-nicey. You make sure it's in the back of the net, right?
No, it's the right play. Technicality. Whose goal is it? Sabres' goal.
Exactly. The guys wearing the blue. Molson tries to spin the puck middle and does, but it tumbles up the slot. Riley Smith flips it off the boards. Marchand can't pick it up. Neither can Bergeron, and it comes back through center. Seidenberg with Ennis on his tail. Up the boards to Riley Smith. Bain and D'Agostini get the assist. It's announced as Foligno's goal. They'll talk to the guys in the room and take one last look on video before they settle on something. They do change these scoring calls from time to time. Ehrhoff hard up the boards for Ott. Ott at the red line. Threads the needle, and Stafford and Chara gets the stick down and whacks it away. Krejci to Iginla. Iginla holds, fires just wide of the post, and it comes back past the goal line. Iginla taps to Chara, bouncing puck, wrists it into the pile in front. Iginla shot, saved by Miller. That was a big one. Lucic trickles it corner. Krejci picks it up in the cycle. Chara wrists it toward goal, tippable, rattles around. Krug wraps it around to Iginla. Iginla behind the back to Krug, the defenseman who usually plays on the right side in this situation. Now here's Chara rotating his blast off a couple of legs in front. Iginla's wrist shot, and that ricochets off the glass. Again, the Krejci line with some tremendous zone time. Krug fires the pass cross ice. Lucic can't track it down. Ehrhoff off Lucic's skates. We're in the final minute of the second period. The Bruins with 2 quick goals from Brad Marchand early, and 1 late from Buffalo to tie it again. Krejci on the bouncing puck. Seltzer finds it, kicks it loose. Iginla holds. Krejci in the corner. Wrists it back to Boychuk. His drive tipped loose in front. Lucic in a battle. Seltzer strong on the stick. Leno gets it up, but not out. Chara off Leno's legs. Stafford bumps it off the boards. Boychuk gets inside Steve Ott and trickles it all the way in on Ryan Miller.
Monster shift by the Krejci line. We've seen a number of those shifts like that in the second period, yet it's a 2-2 game.
Chad Johnson back at his own goal. Orsovsky to Boychuk. Fraser hoists the backhand. It bounces past McBain. No icing as Soderberg was right there, and the period runs to 0. They will go to the rooms 2-2 after 40 minutes.
Top of the broadcast, we talked about this is another grinded-out game. The Bruins don't blow out a lot of teams, and because of the roster challenges, you expected a low-scoring 1-2 goal game, and we've got it.
Dale, nothing easy in this league.
I heard you say that pregame, actually. No easy games, Jack.
Boston Bruins Hockey on NESN is brought to you by the all-new Sierra, designed and engineered by GMC. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. By Amica Insurance. By Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. By the Massachusetts Health Connector. By your New England Audi dealers. By Kettle One Vodka. And by Subaru of New England. 2-2. After 2, Bruins at Buffalo. So let's fly to the bench for an interview with Andy Brickley and Bruins assistant coach Doug Jarvis. Brought to you by Cape Air. Your wings to 44 cities in the U.S., the Caribbean, and Micronesia. Book your tickets at capeair.com now.
Doug, first game in the National Hockey League for David Warsofsky on the back, and your roster continues to be challenged because of injury. Your thoughts on his game?
I think David's been fine. He's a mobile player. He's an intelligent player, and I think he's done a real good job for us getting back for pucks and getting them moved up ice.
Better second period than the first for the Bruins. Was that more about execution, or did they bring more emotion?
No, I thought, well, the emotion I thought was a little higher, but I also thought there was more definition to the game in terms of getting pucks to the net and shooting pucks off the rush, off of the net, looking for rebounds and this kind of thing. And it paid off in a lot of scoring chances. Unfortunately, I wish we would have finished a few more of those.
Another grinded-out game. Good luck in the third period.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, Brick, so as if the Bruins needed any more motivation, which they don't, but consider the second-place Montreal is losing 3-0 at St. Louis right now. And St. Louis playing as well as any team in the NHL at this moment. It's unlikely the Canadiens come back to win that game. Tampa Bay is winning its game against Nashville, but either way, the Bruins would have a 5-point lead and 2 games in hand over Montreal. So this third period becomes really important.
Yeah, and you know, players don't really do a ton of scoreboard watching, but yeah, maybe it's brought to their attention that that's what's going on across the league. But this is more about staying in the moment. The opponents, the Buffalo Sabres, they got a pretty good break on that tying goal after the Bruins had numerous scoring chances in that second period. Real good effort by Boston in that second period. Tremendous amount of offensive zone time, real good looks. And that's, you got to believe if they play a third period similar to the second, they will take 2 points out of this one.
Game summary brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Christian Ehrhoff up the boards. Marcus Foligno snaps the pass to Matt D'Agostini, but the puck tumbles at the blue line, and the play is offside.
You know, I want to go back to that Foligno goal, and we were joking about whose goal it was. Well, it would have to be his. It deflected off him anyway.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. Hit him in the chest. I should have thought of that.
I know. We didn't let logic get into that discussion.
No. Hey, you know, it hasn't slowed me down in 56 years. Why should it enter the equation now? Leno and Krejci on the faceoff. The Krejci-Lucic Iginla line a couple of times in the second period had zone time of about a minute on each of its shifts. Just tremendous work all over the zone.
Yeah, and if your average shift length is about 50-55 seconds, I'd say that's pretty good.
Lucic fires it across the goal mouth. Here's Iginla against Ott. Talinder can't clear the zone. Krug does nicely with Lucic's hot pass. Here's Krejci. Cross ice for Iginla. Myers wraps up Iginla. Ott battling Lucic. Lucic overpowers him on the end boards. Lucic holds it, centers it, and it comes off Myers' stick all the way back to the Boston zone. And Ott wants to go with Lucic, and Lucic looks at that situation as if to say, you are not worthy of me. And that takes a lot for Lucic to turn that down.
Yeah, and Ott's the type of guy that can get under your skin, and the type of guy that you wouldn't mind dropping the gloves with at least once. But it's a good effort by Lucic to get that body position, protect the puck. There's Ott with that little slash to get his attention in his attempt to defend.
Weber up the middle to pass behind Ellis, but Ellis steals it from Boychuk. Warsofsky on the pivot. Taps back to Boychuk. And here comes Matt Fraser. Sees the check coming from Weber. Throws the puck into the Buffalo zone. McBain gives it away to Soderberg. He fires just wide on the stick side. McBain with an ill-advised pass up the middle of the defensive zone when he wasn't sure of it, and Soderberg turned it into a scoring chance. Now McBain on the end boards. It rattles off the referee. It comes to Fraser, who gets it away from Molson. Taps it down the boards for Spooner. Spooner gets shoved off the play by Weber, but he gets it in past the goal line. McBain chops it off the boards. It trickles all the way out to center ice. Boychuk hammers it back around. Campbell has to wait for it as he saw Fraser on the near side not having cleared the zone yet. Fraser now flips one in on Miller, who knocks it aside with his leg as the Campbell line changes on. Campbell goes down heavily in the corner after a collision with McBain. Marchand with a puck hopping over his stick. D'Agostini takes it away, back to Sulzer. D to Christian Ehrhoff. The ex-Vancouver Canuck over the center dot. And he flips it, fumbling end over end to the corner. Seidenberg. Bartkowski gives it away. Chance in front. D'Agostini and a save by Johnson. Now Bergeron blocks the shot. Ehrhoff backhands it toward goal, and we get a hooking call against the Bruins in a scramble in front.
It's going to be on Bergeron. After they make the shot block on the turnover by Bartkowski. Mad scramble in that slot area. They felt that Bergeron in his one-on-one battle, trying to battle for space in that defensive area out in front of the net. Does enough with the stick. There's the shot block. Referee deems that a hook on Bergeron. Bruins shorthanded.
Krejci and Campbell. The penalty killing forwards. Tyler Ennis, the center for Buffalo to start it out. The Sabres control the puck off the draw. Ehrhoff flicks it wide. Stafford giving go with Molson, gets it back and fires it off glass. It went off a stick in front as well. Ehrhoff, Ennis backhands the puck through the corner past Molson's reach. Boychuk turns, fires, and that goes directly into the Buffalo bench. It won't be a delay of game penalty because it wasn't above glass height. And the face-off back in the Boston zone.
Nice little give and go. Molson, Stafford. What an opportunity. I mean, that's basic. Create that 2-on-1. Whether it's from the half wall down to the goal line, give and go, attack the net, well executed.
Anderson Campbell on the draw. Caron goes out, replacing Krejci. Campbell wins it back to Boychuk. Boychuk can't get it cleanly off the boards, but it tumbles over McBain's stick. Campbell pressuring in the center circle. Ennis quickly to the attacking line. Molson can't get it past Boychuk, who pokes it back. McBain up ahead for Ennis. Chara lines him up and separates him from the puck. Boychuk hammers it around the boards, and that one scoots the length of the ice in and out of the Buffalo bench.
Yep.
And again, the face-off back in the Boston zone. And the Bruins appealing to say it should be outside the line, and it is indeed going to come outside the line.
I thought Buffalo thought that Caron, after this good body contact, separate man from puck, well done by Zdeno Chara, staying within the rules. Who deflects this puck? Where does it go out of play? And where is the ensuing faceoff?
I think they said it was off of Stafford. I can't figure out why it would have been off Caron in that situation and still outside the line on the drop.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if they got it right. Tyler Myers with the huge strides, but he has to regroup at the red line. Myers fires it around through both corners, and it trickles all the way back to him. Billy Leno behind the back of Myers, loads up the block from Spooner, and the puck goes the length of the rink. Ryan Spooner, not even on the chart in the top 8 forwards in shorthanded time on ice, but doing a good job on the penalty kill there.
Yeah, the puck was in his area. They're creating 2-on-1s against him, and he took a perfect angle to get in the shooting lane.
Timber! Bartkowski knocks down the tall tree. Sulzer to Myers, to the half boards for Leno. Leno dangles At the hash marks to Myers. To Seltzer, the drive goes off. Seidenberg skates in wide. Leno fakes the shot, brings back to Myers. Seltzer to Myers. The snapshot tipped in, but a save by Johnson. Bartkowski takes it back to his goal, finds a seam, and sends it down the rim.
Nice positional stop by Johnson, able to hold his ground. His positioning stays square, and then a good recovery to find that loose puck rebound by Bartkowski.
One shot on goal during the power play. Bergeron's out of the box. McBain, the wrist shot, deflects wide. Boychuk off the boards. Porter knocks it down, gets it in deep. Boychuk tapped to Orsovsky. He sees the pressure coming from Molson and returns it D to D. Boychuk, the diagonal, hard through the seam to Krejci's take. Krejci goes cross ice to the corner looking for a Ginla, but Ehrhoff takes it away. At Kevin Porter, pulls it away from Krejci. Saucers the pass. It goes too far forward for Ehrhoff. Orsovsky keeps Ehrhoff off of Chad Johnson, and the Bruins take a face-off.
Well, one of the things, Jack, we talked about before the game was the role players, the guys that have been called up from Providence to fill in for injured veterans and what they're asked to do within the system. And that's a great example of it right there. Ryan Spooner, a guy really that puts up good offensive numbers in the American League, but he's in a third-line situation here. He's asked to kill a penalty. What a great sacrifice shot block with that left shin pad.
All some of the young Bruins have to do is look across to Brian Flynn, who scored the opening goal of this game, to see a guy who had a lot of offensive talent but had to learn to play against grown men and play the professional game. He's found a role for himself, and he's carving out an NHL spot. Aren't too many guys who have an easy way to the NHL, as you yourself know. Although I do know that for you it was just, limousines and room service. It's offside. We've got a Toyota game break with Dale Arnold. Dale.
Phoenix visiting the Toronto Maple Leafs. Late in the first, no score. Cody Franson rips a shot from the point. Troy Bodie finds the 5-hole on the rebound for his first goal of the year. That gave Toronto a 1-0 lead as the Maple Leafs are looking to try to rebound.
Thank you, Dale. Yeah, Toronto really struggling, having dropped all the way to 5th in the Atlantic Division. Tampa Bay now leading Nashville 4-2 in the second period. Marchand is ahead of the play, and he is offside. And Montreal still trailing St. Louis 3-0. Marcus Foligno getting worked on.
Yeah, that St. Louis club. By the way, before the night started, the Bruins, Pittsburgh Penguins, St. Louis Blues, Colorado Avalanche were the 4 teams with the fewest total losses in the league.
Chara's shot saved by Miller well out of his crease.
And St. Louis had the most points in those 11 losses.
Smith battling in the corner, taps to Marchand. Marchand tries to turn it to the forehand, taps the pass back to Chara. The shoulder fake, the shot all the way in on Miller as the Bruins get good traffic. Ryan Miller with a late look. Krug, the long diagonal past the red line to Bergeron. Over the line to Marchand, back to Bergeron. He closes. Seltzer with a good stick check right in front. Marchand snaps it over the top. Bergeron with a tremendous effort, and Marchand favoring his left leg, doubled over as he glides toward the door at the Boston bench. Bergeron giving him some help.
Well, it always happens when you score a pair of goals. You get 2 or 3 real good looks for that hat trick, and that was one of them.
At Frazier. Holding along the wall against Seltzer. Pass Spooner in the corner. Soderberg closing on Ehrhoff, who gives it away. Soderberg off the boards. Bartkowski's quick wrist shot into Seltzer's legs. Ehrhoff turns it back for Seltzer. Seltzer guns it off the boards. Ott deflects it into the Boston zone. Bartkowski goes D to D.
Nice play by Bartkowski. Put pressure up on Ott. Ott felt the pressure. Bartkowski forced him to chip that puck right back to him.
Puck deflects up into the protective netting. 13-10 to go in the game. It's 2-2. The Bruins and Buffalo Sabres. Brad Marchand nearly had the Bruins ahead again.
First half of a home-and-home series. Bruins and Sabres. Billy and I back after the game for Ace Ticket. Bruins Overtime Live.
Hey, tough one. Buffalo Sabres might not be that good, but they're giving what they got to the Bruins. Bruins got to keep respecting it.
Ace Ticket. Bruins Overtime Live after the game.
2-2 you score. Bruins Sabres. Both goals tonight scored by Brad Marchand. Nearly had his third. Right in the slot after that backhand feed from Bergeron. Miller just getting a piece of it with that right shoulder, right elbow area just up over the crossbar. Marchand was able to use that TV timeout, Jack, to come back out because there was some knee-on-knee contact with Leno after that shot.
Tyler Myers taps it over to Henrik Telinder. Telinder slings the puck into the Boston zone. Marcus Foligno near side. Back to Myers. The drive hits his teammate D'Agostini, and he comes away limping. Now Telinder's snap shot. Blocker saved by Johnson. Krejci pops the backhand up and collects it back of the goal. Warsawski has Boychuk available. Gives it to his defensive pair. Boychuk up to the attacking line. Krejci tosses it through. A Ginla shot saved by Miller. The rebound. Foligno knocking it to the end boards. Krejci steals out of the corner. The diagonal comes to Warsawski to a Ginla. The one-timer. Saved by Miller. Looks it for Lucic. Off the post and out. Seidenberg taps to the corner to Krejci again. Dominant zone time at the Krejci line. Lucic fakes the shot. Krejci has a Ginla. High slot gives to Lucic. Middle of the line. The wrist shot goes off of Ginla. Myers having trouble clearing the zone. Ginla wins the puck battle in the neutral zone.
Well, 2 shots for Ginla on the same shift. The first one on a nice exchange with Krejci.
Krejci the quick re-entry to Lucic across the middle, and Ellis on the back check gets inside of Ginla to make the play, and then he ices it. Tremendous night for the Krejci line. They just have not been able to light the lamp yet.
And that second opportunity was the one-timer from the face-off dot. Some great rotation by that line. The puck possession, a little bit of traffic late. What an opportunity for Lucic. Did Miller get that one?
I saw the signal from the referee with the washout, so I presumed it was off some metal.
Yeah, that's usually the sign when it does catch post.
Chara fires a little hop step. Riley Smith gathers it on the carom, goes behind the back, gives it indirect for Bergeron through the seam to Chara. The wrist shot goes off of Porter and wide. Chara gloves down the clearing attempt. Marchand in a battle. Here's Smith finding a seam, trickles it laterally. Krug to Bergeron in his skates, back to Chara. The wrist shot, quick release, and a block from Weber. Chara can't get the puck in deep. Ellis across to Molson. Molson flicks it in around behind Chad Johnson. Torrey Krug to Brad Marchand, who makes a rapid return from that knee-on-knee hit. Stafford trying to collect the looping, bouncing puck. Seidenberg strong in his positioning, keeps him from getting inside. Leno far side. Johnson gives him a whack with the stick. Seidenberg through the legs, but Seltzer gobbles it up. He snaps the puck through the corner, centering past Bergeron. Bats it, thankfully for him, not very hard, because that's the very kind of play and reflex for a player often knocks it straight over the glass. Leno laterally in the neutral zone. Ott hoists the backhand right to Bartkowski of Boston. Seidenberg up ahead. Caron chugs into the zone, fakes the drive through the corner, turns back against Ehrhoff. Now cycles it. Leno beats Campbell, but leaves the puck behind. Myers throws it to the corner, nobody home. Campbell trying to trickle it through to Caron. Drew Stafford, center circle. Leno gets a piece of it forward to the red line. No icing as Buffalo changes. Not Bartkowski. Across the crossed swords underneath the Buffalo. Fraser trickles it back to Boychuk. He slams it cross ice. Myers takes it, sizzles the pass. Telinder off the stick of Ennis and up and out of play.
This is why on the HTV Award, tonight's Toyota Big Save, courtesy of Ryan Miller.
9:29 to go in the game. It's 2-2, the Bruins and Sabres in Buffalo. The Audi Performance Play brought to you by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience Audi Quattro all-wheel drive tonight.
Pair goals by Brad Marchand. The first one short-handed on a nice pass by Johnny Boychuk, short side on Miller. The second, maybe a little bit of a misfire, misdirection back against the grain. One-timer and a beautiful feed for Bergeron.
Warsofsky sails it around the glass. It comes up to the half board. Marcus Foligno jams. Ryan Spooner getting a leg in there. And Fraser comes over to help. Absorbs a big hit from Weber. Fraser stabs it loose and trickles through Flynn's skates. McBain quickly to D'Agostini. The long diagonal trying to sneak it away to Foligno, who's on Boychuk's side. Foligno banks the pass to Weber. Weber wrists it around through the corner. Flynn knocks it down. Warsofsky can't clear it past Foligno. On the half board, Soderberg stops on the puck, brings it back to Warsofsky, who absorbs a big hit from Flynn to move it D to D to Boychuk. Boychuk didn't have the D to D return option, so he goes up the boards to Fraser, who battles it to the line. Plays it back to Warsofsky. Warsofsky drives one wide of Miller. That puck seemed to dip at the last moment. Krejci flips the puck down the boards. Weber feeds it into Molson's skates. Lucic picks it off in the seam. Lucic drops to Iginla. Iginla holds on the wing against Ennis. Iginla reverses. Ennis taps it away. Molson up to the line and it bounces out. Krug sends it back into the zone. The Bruins have to clear to avoid the delayed offside call. Christian Ehrhoff draws Milan Lucic. Gives it ahead. Krejci picks it away from Girgensons, and they say the puck crossed the blue line and Lucic was still in and offside.
At first blush, it looked like it was still inside that blue line. Now the Bruins trying to turn this puck over in the offensive end. Krejci in that 1-2-2 with Lucic the front man. Looked like he closed in time, but the linesman, he's at S level. He's right along the blue line. He's got the best look.
And it is his job. Krug fires it around, rides the glass. Seltzer can't control Lucic, the big body along the end board. Seltzer shoves him but can't take it away. Again, the backs up, fires, and Miller makes the save. Brick, when you're having a night like the Krejci line is having tonight, but you haven't lit the lamp yet, do you still have good vibrations, or is frustration creeping in?
Oh, good vibrations all the way. You know it's just a matter of time before you bury one. You just keep playing the same way with the same attitude, the same jump, the same decision making. It'll go eventually. And the other lines feed off that.
Yep. Ott winning the draw. The Sabres dump out. Krug takes it, hammers it up the boards. Iginla comes cross ice. Lucic can't quite stay onside. He put the brakes on, but his legs aren't quite like Gumby.
Tonight, following Bruins coverage, join Jameson and Gary for NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. They'll have more on the Bruins, the latest on a new book out about the splendid Splinter, and a report from Patriots practice. Get all you need to know tonight after post-game coverage.
Bergeron wins the faceoff against Matt Ellis. Tumbling puck, Bartkowski can't control, but he dives to whack it away from Kevin Porter. Bartkowski holds reverses to Seidenberg. Comes up the wall for Riley Smith. Cuts behind Bergeron, gives it to Bergeron against Talinder. Tries to chip it middle, but the veteran defenseman Talinder takes it away and loops it through the neutral zone. Buffalo not making a lot of plays out of its own end right now, Brick.
No, they're just looking for that one break. They're trying to play as much defense as they can and wait for the Bruins to make a mistake and take advantage.
Seidenberg, D to Bartkowski. Bartkowski takes the space, gains the line, fires it on Miller, and the Bruins will get an attacking zone faceoff here with 6:53 remaining in the game.
And that's a sign of a team that's in the state that Buffalo's in right now. The unsurety, the team doubt. We've done a good job to hang in here with these Bruins, the top team in the East. Certainly in the division. And it's almost that sense of what's going to go wrong next. That's when you got to play your hardest, and you got to continue to make plays and play like you did when you had a 1-0 lead.
Johnson stops short of the post. Weber clears to the boards but not out. Warsofsky pinching down. Now Foligno. Cross corner. Looking for the bounce. Caron back on the puck. Boychuk slides it up the boards to Johnson. He chops it ahead to Campbell. Campbell angles past the red line and trickles it into the corner. McBain back. Caron tries to punch it away but cannot. D'Agostini to the middle of his own zone. Foligno to Flynn and into the Boston end of the ice. Boychuk to Johnson. Drags the puck from behind himself. Bounces it all the way through. It's going to go wide of Miller, and that's icing. It sure seemed as if a couple of Sabres had a close chance at that in the neutral zone.
Yeah, but it might be black or white now, where either you touch it or you don't. It's not too late to find the perfect gift for the Bruins fan on your list with the Bruins Holiday Gift Guide presented by TD Bank. Get to a game, choose a 3-game plan, stuff the stocking with Bruins gear, and more. Check it all out at bostonbruins.com/gift guide.
Well, then it's easy if it's black and white. If you're a Sabre, let it go right between your skates the length of the rink. It's the only way they're getting an attacking zone faceoff at this juncture, the way the Bruins are outplaying them. Soderberg into the attacking zone. It goes off the Sulzer's legs. Rattles around for Ehrhoff. He sends it to the middle of his own line and gives it away. Bartkowski to Soderberg and back in deep. Ryan Miller sees the Bruins pouring into his zone one more time. Ehrhoff up ahead for Ott. Now Leno cuts across the line. Stafford turns the corner. Tries to wrap around and scores! Drew Stafford! It's the classic counterpunch. The Bruins dominating against Buffalo, yet the Sabres lead late.
The shallower nets allow for more wraparound opportunities, but this is a time where you just need a save, which is not a good goal to give up if you're Chad Johnson. Bruins defend enough by Bartkowski to keep Stafford to the outside. Stafford's done a nice job against the Bruins throughout his career. He's had a lot of production, been a tough guy to handle. Had a great chance earlier in the game on a give-and-go on the power play with Molson. This time it's that wraparound with the shallow nets. You get to that far side a lot quicker than you used to, but Johnson's got to get that right pad across.
This is Stafford's 39-game lifetime against Boston. That's his 25th point. Now that Thomas Vanek is gone, that's more damage than anybody else on the Buffalo roster has done against the Bruins in his NHL career. 12 goals and 13 assists now for Stafford against the Bruins. So now the Bruins are in a position where they've got to come from behind in the final 5 minutes to beat the last place Sabres. Krejci has a Ginla on the right, Lucic on the left. And Lucic is offside. 5 minutes to go, and Drew Stafford has the underdog Sabres ahead. The road ahead brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. The Bruins play only 2 home-and-home sets all season long. Tonight and Saturday against Buffalo, and then after the pre-Christmas game against Nashville, and then the Christmas break, back-to-back home-and-home against the Ottawa Senators, the 27th and 28th of December. You can see, scanning that schedule, the Bruins play 8 straight games against teams that are either at or near the bottoms of their respective divisions. And Boston in a position right now of letting points get away. The Bruins led 2-1 at one point in this game, yet now they trail 3-2 in the final 5 minutes. Buffalo has played the hockey equivalent of rope-a-dope, depending on Ryan Miller to get the job done between the pipes. He has stopped every Bruin except for Brad Marchand, who has beaten him twice. Flynn backhands it around the boards. Marcus Foligno bounces it middle, and here comes Flynn, who has a short-handed goal tonight. Flynn closing, drops from Myers. The shot scores! It's a happy night in Buffalo. The Sabres are up 2. Two goals in a minute and 20.
Ask me again about this line right now, Jack, and it's a different tune. The Krejci line trying to get something done, trying to put pressure on, get the tying goal. When they get into that rotation with the defense pinching down, they get into a situation where they allow numbers up the ice. They don't have enough back pressure. Myers is able to beat the back checking up ice. Boychuk had to read it as a 2-on-1 that allowed Flynn the time to make a play. Myers coming late, and it's a nice wrist shot. Stick side.
First goal in 11 games for Tyler Myers. And there's suddenly a sound of joy in First Niagara Center, which has not often been heard. Brad Marchand in the corner against Alexander Sulzer. Bergeron for Riley Smith, the shot, leg saved by Ryan Miller. Bergeron holds, closes to the dot, brings it back to Chara. Across the zone. Krug into the legs of Molson and back out to center. The Buffalo Sabres are on the verge of getting their first win while leading after one period all season long in game number 35 for them. An exercise in futility this season has been, but not tonight, where they have absorbed almost everything the Boston Bruins could dish out. And they have found a way to get 3 and now 4 past Chad Johnson.
Well, the Bruins are in, tying goal mentality in the offensive zone. Warsawski's going to pitch down. Lucic is rotating back, but he makes that little spin move and tries to bat the puck down. Now he's making an effort to get all the way back to prevent the 2-on-1, but the rest of the group gets beat up the ice by Myers. And that's the difference. An opportunity like that, a real good finish, a good shot.
Flynn and Foligno picking up the assists. So Flynn and Foligno each with a goal and an assist tonight. 10 Sabres with points. Ryan Spooner goes to the end boards against Weber. Fraser knocks it loose. Spooner bangs it off the kick plate. McBain goes to the wall. Soderberg misses the body check. Stafford backhands the puck off the glass past the red line. Boychuk finishes his check well after Boychuk got rid of the puck. Sabres dump in. Less than 2.5 to go. Boston down by 2 on the road. Torrey Krug's one-timer, a blocker saved by Ryan Miller. Krug can't contain the puck. Flynn racing onto it, but Bergeron has it with the Boston net empty. Bergeron swings it through to Lucic. He gains the line. Lucic wrists it all the way around. McGinley lets it run all the way to Bergeron. Across the line. Krug to Krejci in the corner. Krug flips with Bergeron. Bergeron cross ice pass for Lucic. Back to Krug on the perimeter. Bergeron to Krug. The one-timer saved by Miller. It trickles across the goal mouth. And Myers clears it out. Foligno in a race for the puck. Foligno dives and almost gets it to trickle in. Krug lifts Foligno's stick. Bergeron looks up ice for Lucic. 1.5 minutes to go. The Bruins down by 2. 6 skaters against 5 as Boston's in the middle of a change. How many skaters does Buffalo have on the ice there? Kind of a sloppy change by the Sabres. Boychuk ahead for a Ginla. 1 minute and 10 left. Seltzer around the boards off Molson's skate. Ehrhoff bounces it through the center circle. Boychuk with good precision, hot pursuit into the final minute. They haven't had a lot to cheer about in Buffalo this year. Sackberg fires it toward Miller. He blocks it to the corner. Chara along the boards. McGinley shoves the puck down toward the corner. Ennis reverses. Now Sackberg jumps down past the hash marks with less than 40 seconds to go in the game. Sackberg fires toward goal and Miller snares it with Chara looking for the rebound that doesn't come. The game report brought to you by the all-new Sierra. That's professional grade. As you hear the ovation from the faithful, and they are faithful in Buffalo this year. Brad Marchand with a couple of goals, but it's really been the Sabres' night. The goal that really seemed to break the Bruins back was the wraparound by Drew Stafford with about 6 minutes to go in this game.
Yeah, that counter punch, I think is what you called it, Jack. Timeout by the Bruins here. Try to catch their breath, make a strong push here in the final 33.5 seconds, down by 2. But you're right, that's a save you got to have from your goaltender in that situation. And, the Bruins have done a lot of good things here tonight, with the exception of finishing when they had a chance to get a stranglehold on this game when it was 2-1.
Save of the game brought to you by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Brad Marchand had 2 in the second period. Early in the third, he has this chance, but Ryan Miller gets just a little fabric on it. Was it the elbow, the shoulder, maybe even part of the shaft of the stick? Nah, he got that one.
Now, he's been real good tonight, and he's got to be. He's looking at putting up his 30th win, I believe, against the Bruins. Is that right?
Yep. Ryan Miller coming in was 26th, it'd be. 25, 9, and 7.
There you go. That's a pretty good winning percentage.
Yeah, against a team that's been pretty good in that period, right? 32 saves from Miller tonight. Final 30 seconds, Bruins down a couple. The wrist shot from the point. Creek got it into the pile, but the Bruins couldn't get it past Miller. Here's Bergeron. The hesitation drive loose in front, and Ott clears to the board. Stafford out to center. 15 seconds to go. One of the few rousing cheers that the Sabres have heard in this building. They have been soundly booed, but tonight they deserve this ovation with a 4-2 win over the first-place Bruins.
An untimely soft goal and your inability to finish when you had the chance to put a team down that has a lot of self-doubt right now when it was 2-1 cost the Bruins tonight.
Shots on goal in the third period were 15-5 for the Bruins, Dale, but the scoreboard is all smiles for the Buffalo Sabres.
Jack, Lord knows they haven't had a lot of those so far this season. Coming up on Ace Ticket Bruins Overtime Live, we'll get reaction from the Bruins dressing room. Claude Julien will go one-on-one with Jamie Erdahl, and we will preview the second half of the Your Barn, My Barn matchup as the Bruins and Sabres get together Saturday.